What's up everyone? I have a lot I want to go over in this video. It is a pretty red day for Bitcoin and crypto, the Bitcoin miners, and as annoying as this sounds, I know no one likes to hear this, these are the times you buy. Whatever Bitcoin miner you like, these are the chances you load up. It can quickly go from this is the time to load up to this is the time to be cautious, like this. Snap of fingers. But we've got CleanSpark down a nice 5.5%, Iron down 6%. Mara down 6%. This is a rough day for the Bitcoin miners. TeraWolf down over 6.5%. This video isn't for you to decide which Bitcoin miner to buy. I'm bullish on the vast majority of the Bitcoin miners. You can buy the WGMI, get some generalized exposure if you don't want to pick and choose yourself. What Bitcoin miners am I in right now? CleanSpark, BTBT, Iron, Riot, Sphere 3D. I think it's good to have a diversified list of Bitcoin miners, some higher risk than others obviously, but to me you really don't have to rack your brain about it. What's important is getting that exposure, not waiting on the sidelines and trying to decide which one is best. Many of the Bitcoin miners will outperform Bitcoin. Some Bitcoin miners might surprise you in terms of their performance, meaning what Bitcoin miner might be seen as the best fundamentally might not be the one that gives the most returns. So we can sit here, argue about who the best Bitcoin miner is, or you can work on getting exposure, because I do expect the vast majority of these Bitcoin miners to rally once Bitcoin breaks new all-time highs again, once it's clear that pretty much all of them are profitable again. This is going to be a very, very exciting cycle for the Bitcoin miners, and this is the time to take advantage of the fear. Now, Bitcoin chart-wise, we broke down from our 200 MA. It looks like we're breaking under our 50 MA. I'd like to see the candle actually close. So let's take this pattern out. We did have a reaction to it, but now we broke back in. What I'm watching for is this ascending support. If we take this out, we're probably going to be testing this set of higher lows here. One thing that we did see was a bearish divergence on the 4-hour and on the hourly. Price was trying to maintain while the RSI was starting to cool down. It's much more clear on the hourly. You'll see how the price was basically sideways while the RSI was consistently falling. I would personally anticipate a bounce pretty soon here. We are approaching oversold on multiple time frames, and you get a sell off like this, there will be a reaction to the upside, a little bounce at least on the short term. Is Bitcoin a buy here? Can we get a Bitcoin down here at 50,000 once more? I gotta say, I personally really doubt it, based on where we are in the cycles, based on the news that's circulating right now. Think about where we were here at this point. We were in the thick of it all with Mt. Gox fear. We were dealing with Germany selling, we were dealing with potentially US selling or moving around their crypto, fear surrounding that. And we were dealing with Bitcoin, unable to break its all-time high, pulling back, negative retail sentiment, people thinking, oh, maybe the top is in, maybe it's over this time. Maybe the cycle won't play out like it always has every single time. I do think Bitcoin is a buy right here. Can it go lower? Sure. But do you want to miss out if it starts rallying? Do you want to miss out on the Q4 rally and the 2025 rally? If history repeats, this is the time. This is the best time to be in Bitcoin. You don't have to wait through the bear market. You pretty much buy here, and within a few months, you are going to be up if history repeats. And speaking of being up, crypto millionaires skyrockets. The crypto millionaire population is up 95%, nearly double from where it was in 1 year. The number of crypto millionaires nearly doubled in 2024, reaching 172,300. This report reveals that 172,300 individuals worldwide now hold more than $1 million worth of crypto, nearly doubling from 88,000 in 2023. People are going to notice this. People are going to see that these people are becoming millionaires. As crypto goes through its cycles, more and more people will become millionaires, and it will become kind of a more known thing, like, oh, this guy invested in crypto and now he's hella rich. This guy invested in some crypto. This guy bought some Bitcoin a couple years ago. And this is going to create a network effect where people talk about how they made all this money on Bitcoin. And once things start moving up, this is when retail suddenly becomes bullish. Retail is definitely not bullish right now. Retail is very uncertain. I see it across different social media platforms. I see it sometimes with my own comments, and I know it's anecdotal, but people are definitely not all bullish right now. Now, here's something huge. This is a sign, another indicator, another reason that the top is not in yet. We are approaching the supply shock. Bitcoin and Ethereum scarcity grows as $26 billion leaves centralized exchanges. And look at this, Bitcoin exchange reserve, how low it's getting. From August 24 to August 26. Another 46,000, nearly 500 Bitcoin has left exchanges, and now the count is down to 2,632,000 Bitcoin as of August 26. And what have we also noticed? We've noticed more Tether coming in. The amount of USDT on these platforms has grown from 12.6 billion to a significant 21.7 billion. And if this pattern for Bitcoin persists, this increasing scarcity could affect future market stability. Supply shock. Currently, the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges is at its lowest level since 2018. And here's another indicator for those of you that are unsure if Bitcoin has topped out or not. The Pi cycle indicator has shown that Bitcoin in fact has not topped out. And this is a pretty dang accurate indicator, I must say. Now, how it basically works is it takes the 111-day moving average and it takes the 350-day moving average times 2. When the 111 passes the 350, this is a cycle top indicator, and we have seen it before. And this is interesting. Back in like 2013, 2014, it actually gave us 2 indicators, and it was basically at the top both times. So this time it wasn't just a cycle top indicator, but basically an indicator for 2 tops in that bull market. However, if you got out on this one and didn't get back in, you would have missed the bigger run. So there's something to be said about that. We could always get a false read potentially in the future, but it is very interesting that it basically points out these cycle tops pretty consistently. But you'll see that it crossed right here at the peak, and that's basically what marked the downturn. It crossed right here in 2021, and that's basically what marked the downturn. And look guys, it has not crossed again. This is definitely something to keep an eye on. It has been very accurate in the past. If this is flashing in mid or late 2025, that'll probably be a good sign that it's time to exit. All right, next up, we got to talk about the spot Bitcoin ETFs and spot Ethereum ETFs. So spot Ethereum ETFs have 13 million in outflows on Monday, while Bitcoin ETFs got another $202 million in inflows. And this is the 8th straight day of inflows for Bitcoin. And check this out, GBTC was flat in terms of inflows and outflows, no flows. Could this be the beginning of seeing some inflows from grayscale? Maybe, maybe not. And look at this, this isn't necessarily good if you look at the long term, but for now, for the cycle, I think it's a good thing. But like I said, long term, this does raise over time some concerns of decentralization, so on and so forth. But look, BlackRock and Grayscale ETFs hold nearly 3% of all the circulating Bitcoin. And last week, they saw $533 million in inflows, the largest inflows for 5 weeks. Things seem to be turning around a bit. But yeah, BlackRock now holds 357,000 Bitcoin. I do suspect by the end of the year, they will hit 500,000 Bitcoin. And Grayscale holds 227,000 Bitcoin. If we see some more selling from them, maybe they get down to 200,000, but I don't think they're getting much lower than that. I do think soon we will start seeing inflows from Grayscale. In the end, days like these are some of the best days to be bullish. We're in an overall bull market. There's definitely negative retail sentiment. There's so many signs that we have not topped out yet. There's so many signs that we're still in the thick of the bull run. And instead of buying Bitcoin as it's pushing new all-time highs, getting to that price discovery, getting to those crazy levels, instead you can buy it after a nice pullback, after fear from Mt. Gox. While the market is panicking, you're greedy. While the market is greedy, you should be a bit fearful. A quote from a guy that thinks crypto is rat poison. But anyways, thanks as always, guys. Let me know what you're loading up on. What's important in my opinion is exposure to the Bitcoin miners. I do expect the vast majority of them will do crazy this year and into the next year. And some will surprise us. Some that we don't expect to outperform others will end up doing better than ones that we thought were solid, were fundamentally fantastic companies. Sometimes the riskiest of the risky could potentially outperform the more stable, solid companies that are on their way to more consistent profitability, whether it's a CleanSpark, an Iron, a Riot, fill in the blanks. But thanks as always, guys. How do you think the Bitcoin miners are going to do by the end of this year? And are the cycles going to play out? Are we going to get that top at some point in 2025? A lot of indicators are still pointing it out. The 4-year cycle is key. That's my opinion. And to some extent, Bitcoin will always somewhat follow the 4-year cycle. They might not repeat, but they will be very similar as time goes on. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.